Hello and welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard and I'm still sitting here with No Pants and hopefully making some profits. And we've got some new IPOs in Robinhood today. Today is Monday, November 8th, 2021. And we've got two new IPOs that popped up in Robinhood today. Let us take a look. So this is in Robinhood IPO Access. If you do have Robinhood, how you go about finding it and is you just go ahead, if you're on the main screen of Robinhood, just hit the little search guy and then type in IPO and you'll find IPO Access. And this is where you can see a lot of the stocks we've talked about in the past that are coming up that have launched and other things like that. But we've got one called Sono Motors and one called Braze. And we're going to take a look in. I have taken a very brief look at what these companies do. And I do have a specialty in one of them. So I do want to go ahead and take a look at Sono Motors. So we're going to take a look here first. Let's read what Robinhood says they do. They are Munich-based, so Germany-based manufacturer of solar electric vehicles with a self-recharging component based on solar modules. The listed name for SEV is Sono Group NV, and they're going to try and list under SEV is the ticker symbol for Sono Group. They will be going ahead. They don't have a final price yet, but they're looking at 11.16, so that's not this week, but next week we're going to take a look at the S1 and everything that we normally do on this channel. It's price range from $14 to $16. That seems to be kind of where everything's falling right now, and EVs are hot right now. You know, you've got Tesla that blew up, and then Elon sold some shares. You've got Rivian that's going public a little bit later this week, the week of November 8th, 2021. So I do kind of expect that price range to jump up a little bit, even if we're not a profitable company. But let's go ahead, let's dive right in and let us take a look at the website of Sono Group as well as their S1. So first we're going to go ahead and we are going to take a look at the website of Sono Group. Driven by the sun. All right. So Sono Motors, Sono Group, they've got these really funky looking cars. I guess for the United States, pretty funky looking. I will tell you, I am very well versed in electric vehicles as a big Tesla investor, as well as I'm very well versed in solar. I have this up. I actually have a solar array that's powering this entire setup right now. So I have a balance between solar and grid. So like if I were to go ahead and let's just for giggles, if I shut off, hopefully this doesn't break anything. If I shut off the grid entirely, we're going to be running fully on solar now, which is kind of cool. So we're running fully on solar, and we're going to do the rest of this episode fully on solar power. We have taken the grid off, so we're doing a solar-powered car. We might as well use solar power to do our episode. Hopefully nothing goes wrong there. We've got the Scion, which is the car that charges itself, and it does not look like it's shipping yet. You can pre-order it for 28,500 pounds. So, solar is making sure. Which over. Okay, so for 28,500 pounds, you can go about and you can get a solar vehicle. So I can pre-order this at 28,500 pounds to dollars, or not pounds, euros. 28,500 euros to United States dollars. Give me just a second. I'm going to convert that over. Yeah. All right. So let's convert that guy over there. Ooh. All right. So that is 33,026 United States dollars you've got right there. So 33,026 United States dollars is about what they're going for. There's probably going to be VATs on it and different things like that. I'm just making sure. My solar's getting a little weird. So we've got learn more about CN. So you can pre-order it for 28,500 euros or $33,000. So if I want to learn more about it, it is a spacious electric car with a range of up to 305 kilometers. 305 kilometers in miles, so 190-ish miles. So not as big as some of the other car dealer. Some of the, it gets you that. It gets you the sun. It's powered by the sun, so 248 solar cells seamlessly integrated in the body of the car can add up to 112. Wow. 112 kilometers up to, on average, okay, can add up to 100 on average, up to 245 overall per week of driving range of the car battery through the power of the sun. This creates full self-sufficiency on short distances. Flexible charging. You can charge it in about 35 minutes with a fast charging station. It can be recharged at any public charging station in Europe or via your regular home power socket. Or actually, interesting, this is something I've not seen before. One of these cars, one of these Sono Motors cars, can actually charge another one. So it's got an onboard bidirectional charger that enables you to share your car to recharge other electric cars, which is kind of cool. And that's including the VAT. So they do list the price with the VAT. So we're looking about $33,000 with the VAT. And we've got the Sonos wall box. So this is bidirectional charging. This is something that Tesla kind of refuses to do, is the bidirectional charging. So you can charge it with your house, but if the power goes out, if the grid goes down, your car can actually power your house. That's something that Elon has kind of refused to do. So it can become a sustainable power plant from your home. Your range, your liquid-cooled battery capacity, it's about half that what's in most modern Teslas. So this is 54 kilowatt hours. Again, why I keep harping back to Tesla is like if you think of Priuses, Prius was the original hybrid vehicle. So whenever somebody mentions hybrid, you're going to harken back to a Prius. So, we're looking at the liquid-cooled battery so Teslas have about 100 kilowatt hours of battery right now. This has 54, about half of the capacity of the leading Tesla. And we can learn more about all these, and they're just making one size. Kind of looks like a Scion, if you're familiar with the brand. Let's just see. Scion. Images. Kind of looks like a Scion right there. But overall, kind of an interesting design, interesting concept, sleek interior. It does look very much like an electric car. Low maintenance costs, 100% renewable energy, and you could see, oh wow. So you'll see there's the solar panels all around it. That's pretty cool. Hold on. I like that image there. Where's that one? So that's where all the solar panels are on the vehicle. So you can actually see under the skin and you can see where the solar panels are. Really cool. I do know solar. I deal in solar a lot. Let me see what we've got here. I just want to take a peek at this real quick. Discover the power of the sun. Because this is, when you're looking at a stock, when you're looking at a company, you have to look at their USP or their unique selling proposition. What are they doing that no one else is doing? This probably actually comes from, there's a race that goes on in the middle of Australia or the desert every year where people build solar powered cars and they race to see who can actually finish the race. Big colleges from all over the US and all over the world come to do this race. So you can see a lot of these are renders and don't really exist. They're looking to make buses, they're looking to make trucks and trailers, they're looking to make light electric vehicles like a golf cart. It's kind of cool if you never have to charge your golf cart. So, they're saying what you can add. So with a bus, you can put up to 100% of the energy demand covered by solar, up to 70% of the energy cost savings compared to a diesel engine with the trailers, and it all has to do with surface area. So the surface area of where you could put those solar panels. So, and they've even got an app, the Sono app. So power sharing, sustainability, become a pioneer, pre-order, and if I wanted to pre-order, we can go right there. Right of cancellation, so it's a €500 down payment for a purchase price of 33,000 euros. There's probably some incentives there as well, but you got that $500 down payment for a purchase price of that, and they are going to make your purchase contract so you have 2 rights to cancel. And it is unfortunately right now, trust me, I would order one if I could. It is unfortunately only delivering in the European Union right now. So first vehicles be delivered the first half of 2023, and we plan to produce and deliver approximately 14,000 reservations in 2023. So that'll give you an idea, but guess what? It's time to do now. We've taken a look at what they've said on their website. Let's go ahead and let's look at their S1. If this is your first time joining us, what is an S1? An S1 is an official form filed with the United States government, specifically the Securities and Exchange Commission, to list on the American Stock Exchange. So you'll see that they are going to be based in Munich, Germany. Again, their symbol is SEV. So it is not an American-based stock, but they do actually have copies. They do actually have they probably have some American footprint here. Yeah. So you'll see they've got an American law firm that's actually running it out of New York City. Again, $16 to $18 a share is their listing price there. So let's look at the prospectus. They want to issue, very nice round number, 10 million shares at an offering price between $14 and $16 per share. This is our initial public offering, and there are no current public markets for their shares. The following offer, they'll have two classes of shares, common shares and high voting shares. Again, these companies don't want to give away their voting control. So that's kind of interesting. Much like all the other companies we've been talking about, they don't want to give away their voting control. So each high voting share gets 25 votes per share, and each non-voting share gets 1 vote per share. So the idea is 78.16% of the voting power will stay with their existing shares, so nobody can go throw out their CEO or do any crazy votes or change the company. Sometimes a company will sell so much of their shares that the meme from Captain Phillips becomes true. The new shareholders comes in and they are the captain now. But this makes sure that they're not the captain now. That's the goal of what's going on here. So we've taken a look at some of this. Now you can see these are all renderings, and we looked at this on their website. So solar on every vehicle. The most interesting one is actually the van-like, Scion-like thing to me, because they've actually hidden it really well. I realized you wouldn't see it as much on the truck, on the bus or the box truck on the top, because you've got a lot of surface area to play with. But solar is actually just a game of surface area. I've got a whole flat section on the back of my roof. I've put a whole bunch of solar panels up there, and this entire presentation, this entire rig, all these mining rigs run off solar on most sunny days. They do have to be supplemented from the wall on less sunny days. So creating clean mobility, breaking through solar technology, introducing the world's first affordable SEV. So SEV stands for solar electric vehicle. Oh, that's cute. I didn't even realize that their ticker symbol is SEV, which actually stands for solar electric vehicle. It's something that's been happening for many years in races across the desert and things like that, but never really been available. The first affordable SEV, which is kind of cool. They've gone ahead and they've put on some high-end electric vehicles, high-end low-volume production electric vehicles. They put little solar fins on before that can run the air conditioning, but they're not really doing anything there. So solar mobility for everyone. Oh, look, stock photos. I love stock photos. That's all you're looking at right here. Stock photos. Letters from our founders, climate change, CO2. We believe that our company, upon building the first solar electric vehicles and developing digital services. Second is selling and licensing. Okay. So not only do they want to build the solar cars, but they want to sell what they're doing with the solar cars to others. I like that. I like that. Licensing deals. Yummy, 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 yummy. Love licensing deals. We, Jonah and Lauren, together with Nevis, started this company with friends in technology and through influence from a small garage in Munich, Germany. We developed our first prototype ourselves and fully understand. Okay. As of November 5th, 2021, which was 3 days ago, more than 16,000 reservations have been made and signed with the average down payment of $3,000. So it looks like they dropped, because it's about 700 now, because they're asking for 500 euros up front. So it looks like they've gone ahead and they've dropped their price on the pre-orders now. So if you do want to get it, you've got a bit of lower of a price. We'll zoom in a little bit. We believe that SUVs will be the next big wave in mobility. Combustion engines are the past. Electric vehicles are a thing of the present, and solar electric are the future. I like this. I really like this. We have historically conducted our business through Sono Motors GmbH, which became a wholly... Okay, so this is another one of those games in which they're just moving companies around. Nothing crazy going on here. They're just moving companies around. Common shares, existing shareholders, ourselves. So the US dollar refers to US dollars because it's going to be presented on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. So German company listing on the largest stock market in the world, which is in the US. Presentation of financial information. Unless otherwise indicated, the consolidated financial statements and release notes included in this prospectus have been prepared in accordance with the IFRS. Yes, it's just saying, hey, we're a foreign company. We're following the same rules as the US does. Market and industry data. I want to see if they mention the T word. The T word is kind of interesting. Industry publications, research surveys. The T word is Tesla. Prospectus summary. Our mission, solar on every vehicle. Overview. We believe we can be a pioneer and technological leader in the field of solar-powered electric mobility. We are in the process of developing and commercializing a disruptive solar technology that would allow every vehicle to benefit from solar power. Now, I will tell you, back in the day, I built both a solar-powered go-kart. This was like 15 years ago that I would drive around. And I used to have solar panels on my first car that ran Christmas lights. And I learned that if you put red or blue lights, Christmas lights on a car, that is considered a police car, and you get pulled over and you get a nice little talking to. So I changed some of the colors on the lights. Essentially our polymer tech. So let's read this because, again, unique selling proposition. When you have a new one come to the market, it's kind of like your elevator pitch, your USP or your unique selling proposition. Our disruptive solar technology allows for full solar integration. In the process of developing, we realized that available solar technology was not well suited for mobility applications. Traditional solar technology relies on glass to cover the solar cells. Glass, however, is heavy, not sufficiently flexible, expensive, dangerous in a crash situation. Our polymer technology solved this due to fast and lean production and avoids and eliminates the risk of bodily harm caused by broken glass. So they are using a plastic that is transparent over the panels, a polymer that they developed, and that's likely their unique selling proposition. We have through our maximum MPPT unit. So these are actually, these big blue boxes back here actually track the sun, and they use MPPT. It's called maximum power point tracking. Solve the issue that solar panels can be mounted at different parts. So I have a bunch of solar coming in, and some of it can get shaded sometimes. So what MPPT does is it says, okay, let's say the right side of the vehicle is shaded. Well, we can cut off the voltage from that right side of the vehicle and only use the other sides of the vehicle and equalize the voltage. So solar technology is much more versatile, goes beyond passenger cars, allowing for grid-independent charging. Okay, this is actually really cool. What they're saying is, if you kind of reverse and you look back at what we're saying, you can run your house on this car, therefore you can run your house on solar, therefore you don't have to put solar on your house. Kind of really interesting there, We have several patents granted or within the filing process protecting our proprietary technology. Additionally, we have up to 4 years of advanced development ahead of those relevant competitors. I haven't seen anybody pushing SEV. So you have basically you have three types of electric vehicles talking about here. You have BEV, which is the well, actually, no, you have more. You have BEV, which is a battery electric vehicle. You have a plug-in hybrid, which is a HEV, hybrid electric vehicle, or a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. And you also have these are not really caught on much in the U.S. There's very few stations, but you have the hydrogen electric vehicles, which are kind of like a natural gas or hydrogen electric vehicle. They're all electric vehicles, though. It's just how they get the energy for their propulsion. In the MCU, is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Our technology will be one of the distinctive features of the Scion. We will have the ability to recharge itself using both solar panels installed on the exterior and leverage their polymer-based solar technology. We expect solar power will reduce the number of charging intervals depending on the user's profile, may even eliminate the need for battery charging, positioning us to better significant advantage from our competitors. And they're putting the modules into the bodywork elements so they don't actually have to paint it. So kind of useful that they put it in so they don't have to paint it. To make it affordable for the mass market without compromising security and quality, we do things differently and believe and sustainability over traditional car manufacturers. Remember, something you learned from Tesla, making cars is hard. This is not easy. You can make one model, you can make 10, but when you have to make tens of hundreds of thousands, making cars is hard. The production of Scion, okay, so when we talk about making it, it's currently expected to be outsourced to a contract manufacturer at the former Saab plant in some town in Germany, Trollhättan. I'm going to try that. Trollhättan, not Germany, Trollhättan, Sweden. So they're saying they are going to offset the carbon emissions produced. Okay, so this is important. Okay. So customers can view the Scion. This is Current? Okay. Customers can view the Scion, book a test drive, engage, and place orders directly with us. As of November 5th, 2021, we had more than 16,000 reservations with advance payments, resulting in total net cash flows of $400 million from their customers, up from $37.9 million as of the quarter, as of the first half of 2021. These reservations correspond with net sales volume to approximately $340 million. However, our customers may cancel their reservations without penalty during terms if no binding. So here's what they did. When this came out, they actually changed their terms. You used to be able to cancel at any time, and now you'll see that they've only got the right of cancellation. So after 2 weeks, this is just straight from their website. After 2 weeks of putting down your 500 euros, let's just put in 500 euros. 500 euros. That's about 500. Let's say $575 right now. It's 579.41. But after about 2 weeks of putting that down, then you've got that guy locked up right in there. So with respect to our solar technology licensing, we've shipped our first pre-production samples to customers. With respect to Scion, we're still getting pre-production phase and presented second fully functional prototype in January 2021. The funding that we expect to obtain from this offering will not be sufficient to secure our needs to the start of production of the Scion. Assuming that we are able to raise the amount, we still need the following from this offering. We currently plan to commence commercial production of Scion in the first half of 2023. So, yes, they had a loss. They've not sold anything. I don't expect them to have made money. We believe that there needs to be more done to slow down global warming. Okay, whatever. Solar technology, building owners. Again, that's talking a lot about solar, environmental technology. Again, I just want to see if they're ever going to be profitable. Lack of innovative solutions from traditional players. Global warming. Increasing demand for mobility solutions, lack of sufficient charging infrastructure. So that's a big one. They're talking, if you look at the U.S. infrastructure deal right now, the U.S. infrastructure deal is talking about charging infrastructure and having that charging infrastructure to actually run all these electric vehicles. Well, if a car can in theory be its own charger, then you go, okay, car can in theory be its own charger. Do I really need as many charging stations? Again, that assumes sun, which, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and Musk. So insufficient adoption of solar technology for mobility use. So most solar is fixed, is what they're saying. Most solar is fixed. It's not moving around. It's not where you need that solar right now. And even when you talk about the grid, if you don't have to worry about the grid if you're carrying the generation with you. So they have integrative green technology solutions suitable for everyday use. Again, this document will be linked below if you want to read the whole thing. I don't want this to be 6 hours long. So, affordable for average consumers. So they're locking in competitively a low price. We expect the price positions to become price value leader in the relevant segment of the SEV, solar electric vehicles, which happens to also be their ticker symbol. So they've got disruptive solar technology because there's not glass involved over the panels. So it makes it lighter, it makes it more durable, and it makes it less dangerous because you're driving. You wouldn't really want to drive around in a tempered glass box. Driving around in a tempered glass box does not sound like the smartest thing in the world to do. So sustainable and responsible mobility. Oh, they even do their own little SWOT analysis: strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. We believe following combination of strengths, capabilities, features of our business will distinguish us from our competitors, mainly Tesla. Let's try something real quick. Okay. Yep. So Tesla. Okay. Let's see what page we were on. We went down quite a bit. Oh. Let's scroll. I just wanted to see if they mentioned the word Tesla. Oh my. Okay. Trying to figure out where we were. Oh, okay. This is where we were. Inefficient adaptation of solar technology for mobile use. Our solution, here we go, suitable for everyday use, affordable for the average consumers, heightened independence, meaning you don't need to plug it in as much. At least that's the theory. Disruptive solar technology makes it safer, sustainable, and responsible mobility. Our strengths: proprietary technology aimed at harnessing the solar energy that they can use maximum power point tracking to have solar panels all over the car, and where it's shaded, it'll kind of cut those off a little more and boost where it's sunnier to get the solar panel. And again, that uses tech other than the solar panel. That uses an MPPT charge controller. So that is actually what maintains and charges your battery. I do have a background in solar technology and everything you're seeing right now is actually powered by solar. All the lights, all the fans, everything you're hearing is actually powered by solar. So proprietary technology aimed at harnessing solar electricity. Benefit from the position as a technology leader, the first one to really in the SEV space, or the solar electric vehicle space, and pre-orders demonstrate customer support for their goals. Lean, efficient, agile production model contains cost and promotes scalability. Founder-led management team that keeps all the voting shares. Be very aware. Growth strategy related to solar technology, monetizing their technological innovations. So not only building the cars themselves, but licensing out the tech. Tesla has always said that that their tech is built open source. So a lot of other people borrow it, but no one's really done it yet. And people have questioned what's going on there. So they're just going in with, hey, we're going to make a licensing deal with anybody who wants to make SEV, solar electric vehicles, because guess what? We are solar electric vehicles, because that's our ticker symbol, is solar electric vehicles. Advancing the development, increasing their okay. Our initial market is focused on Germany and other EU states, but we want to go to the US and potentially even China. We're developing one base vehicle platform. The bus and the truck and all that, those are just renders. Those are useless, meaningless renders. Capturing additional revenue from CO2 pooling, adopting our sales approach. Well, I believe our online approach. So, having a dealership approach, which is kind of stupid, but having a dealership approach. This is talking about their whole history of merging and breaking and merging and breaking, and we've got their risk. So again, our history of significant losses is expected to continue. Losses for the foreseeable future, which could lead to continued reliance on external financing and raise substantial doubt in our ability to continue as a going concern. Now, when a company's been out for a while, I'll give you, for example, AMC and GameStop had what's called a going concern before the apes stepped in and saved them. A going concern means we're probably going to go out of business. We're just telling you straight up, we're going to go bankrupt. We're going to go out of business. It's called a going concern. So the dependence on our success is the market's willingness to adopt SEV, solar electric vehicles. Developments in vehicle technology may adversely affect the demand for solar electric vehicles. Competitiveness in the automotive market, high volatility of demand in the automotive industry, especially with the chip shortage. It's hard to find a car right now. Customers may cancel their reservations that were made in the past without penalty. Again, you'll see now they do have... I keep to harken back to this because it looks like a change they've made is that you can cancel for up to 2 weeks, but you can't cancel forever. Our intention to deploy technology solutions to our vehicles, including solar module technology, which may not be fully functional or available upon anticipated schedule and may retain unproven and pose additional risk. Delay in commercial production. They're talking about all of these risks. Dependence on manufacturers of batteries. Non-compliance of our advertisements with legal requirements. Okay, that's getting out there. So they intended to outsource the vehicle's production to VES, so a Sweden company. It's an automotive engineering, we intend, not intended. It's an automotive engineering manufacturing company founded in 2012 that inherited some of Saab, S-A-A-B, which is a old car company that I don't know if they're in business. S-A-A-B. Is Saab still in business? Oh. Well, that's not Saab. That's a submarine. It looks like Saab Automotive is dead. Yeah, so NEVS inherited what was going on there. Saab was a car company at a point in time. While our base plan reflects our current belief, most likely scenario remains that Scion will be manufactured by Nevis. We've explored alternatives should they no longer be in a position to manufacture. Changing a manufacturer may lead to an increase in the expected cost because that manufacturer gave them costing. They built their profits in. They built, their research and development cost in. They probably built in a lot of. They're probably, because I know Tesla is, and they're in Germany as well. They're probably getting a significant amount of government incentives to build these cars. So probably a significant amount of government incentives. They are an emerging growth company, so they're not going to be audited nearly as detailed by the PCAOB, but they are still going to be a public company, and they are a foreign company, but they're going to be registered in the U.S. They have to follow U.S. general accounting principles. Again, they want the initial probably offering price of $15 per common share, which is the middle of the $14 and $16 range. And we'll see. It's an electric vehicle company. It's hot. I do expect that price to go up. Summary of financial data. Look, they've said they've never made money. We can look at this. We can go diluted, basic, profit earnings, loss per share. They're losing money, and they're losing more money now than they lost before. I mean, these are simple metrics you can kind of take a look at, and you can see, okay, if you look at these numbers, they're losing more money each and every year. I mean, this very well could be the next Tesla, or it could be an absolute failure. Is really how you have to look at this, and they have another year until they're in production, so they're gonna not start dealing. They're not gonna start delivering until 2023. Sharing the future of solar powered, community driven. Again, hey, they bought stock photos. That's cute. Oh God. These cars might actually, this might be a model that they didn't buy stock photos. Risk factors. I like this. Perceptions about the effectiveness of solar technology deployed in electric vehicles. That's a risk factor. Perceptions about the safety. That's why they're going with these polymers instead of glass. These polymers are not going to, if you get in a car crash, you're not in a glass box. Range limit over electric vehicles. They can also charge at charging stations, and especially in Europe, Tesla started opening up the supercharging network. So access to charging stations, standardization of electric vehicle systems, consumer perspectives about convenience, cost, other things like that, macroeconomic factors like a depression. Developments in vehicle technology may adversely affect a demand for solar electric vehicles. Automotive market is highly competitive. No shit, Sherlock. And we might not be the first to serve the mass market with an electric vehicle with solar power capability. So if Tesla turns around and does what they're doing, Tesla can produce this a lot faster. But I do think they're lucky that Tesla's been so successful. Tesla's pretty much sold out of vehicles until late 2022 right now. So they're not going to go start a new production line. Plus, they've delayed the Cybertruck. So, they've got a lot of stuff. They expect the traditional auto manufacturers to start making these electric cars and battery electric cars and solar electric cars and hydrogen electric cars and plug-in hybrids and all these other things like that. And it's volatile. Risk related to business and operations. We're an early stage company with a history of significant losses and expect continuing losses for the foreseeable future, which will lead to continuous reliance on external financing and raise substantial doubt about our ability to continue as a going concern. Exactly what happened to AMC, exactly what happened to the cruise lines, exactly what happened to GameStop, exactly what happened to a lot of people during a lot of smaller players during the pandemic. Our results for the 6 months that ended June 2021 was a loss of 25.7 million euros, up from 10 euros in the 6 months that ended June 2020. Our loss for the period of the year was 56 million euros. They've incurred a net loss since inception in March 2016, resulting in a deficit of 108 million euros, which they're going to raise a lot more than that in this offering. They're kind of going to offset it because they're putting out 10 million shares. Yeah. So they're pretty much, if this goes off correctly, they're going to get rid of their entire debt deficit plus cover some more, So that's the whole idea. We will incur significant expenses. We'll also incur expenses related to the production and the commercialization of Science, increasing our sales and marketing activities with the goal of building our brand, adding infrastructure, personnel to support our growth. In addition, we have various expenses from general administrative and our headquarters and expect these expenses will increase because as we have more people, we expect to continue generating operating losses for the foreseeable future until the start of production and possibly later. We seek to increase monetization of our technology. We don't anticipate that we will generate commercial revenue or positive operating cash flows from vehicle sales and generate high one-digit Scion will generate high one-digit gross margins in the midterm after the production. Yeah, so this is kind of like if you're looking at a foreign Tesla, which yes, I know Nikola Tesla was foreign, but if you're looking at a foreign Tesla, there's no historical basis for assessing demand for their vehicles. But if you do look at Teslas are a very similar type of vehicle. They have to raise the funding. They're looking at all these risk factors. Again, customers may cancel their reservations. I think they have changed that. So nobody's entered into a binding purchase agreement. It cannot be purchased in the future. PayPal may be similar to these. PayPal's relevant terms. We have not been able to access these funds immediately, so it's just talking about PayPal. ends up being lower than anticipated, we may not be able to achieve the projected revenue. We intend to benefit from additional revenue opportunities, but may not be able to commercialize these. We're looking at the risk. We intend to deploy technologies and solutions to our vehicles, including solar module, which may not be fully functional. We depend on adequate protection of our IP. So they're saying, hey, we're going to license it. We're not giving it away for free like Tesla says they are, but I still don't think they have. Our patent applications may lead to the granting. Any delay in commercial production could affect these timelines and make us lose a lot of money. They depend on that partner for production of the Scion. They say they do have an alternate, but all of their pricing, all of their projections are based on the former SAB employees that own this new... Oh, God. Oh, I see a word that I don't like here. In their file, it says a very interesting word. I want to read this sentence. If we have a new major... Oh, God. Oh, okay. There's something not good here. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Look who they're reliant on. Evergrande New Energy Vehicle Corp. Or Evergrande. You remember that little Chinese problem that was going on? Yeah, that's Evergrande. That was defaulting, the big Chinese real estate company. They're involved in this. This is the first notice we've seen of that. So, recent events such as a failure to pay interest on outstanding indebtedness to due date suggested Evergrande faces liquidity challenges. Remember, I scroll by a lot of stuff, but I'm skimming it. When I see something that goes, oh no. This is one of those, oh no. Yes, I can remake the noise. These challenges will likely negatively affect Nevis and could lead to the sale of Nevis by Evergrande because they have a problem. We may be forced to renegotiate. So they're addressing it. That's the important thing. They're not hiding it. They're addressing it. They're saying that, Evergrande is one of our people. I still kind of like what they're doing. I like where they're headed. Increases cost and disruption of supply or shortage of raw materials, certain products. We intend to outsource logistics management operations to third parties. Again, we're just kind of skimming, and I do want to see where Tesla's mentioned here. We'll go back. If the Scion or any of our future vehicles fail to perform as expected, we make significant use of various communications channels for our public relations activities. Again, they're going to talk about being hacked and all those other things. Our advertisements, the advertising rules are actually a lot more strict over in the European Union than they are in the U.S. So you can't make claims of range and stuff like that without being able to really back them up. There's the range numbers the manufacturers give in the U.S. for electric vehicles, and then there's the range numbers that are tested, and they're very, very different. Warranty reserves, future warranty claims could materially affect the business. Warranties, recalls, things like that can give you a nice little unexpected cost. Okay, this is interesting because everybody's talking about, okay, you got all these vehicles. You've got two problems. You've got the grid and you got the batteries. Our vehicles will make use of lithium ion phosphate battery cells, which are very similar to these guys are right back here. These are all LiPo battery cells back there that run the solar. So, very similar to those guys right there. Turn that back down. The batteries will make packed into a form of blade cells on radar recursions. Our blade cells have stored energy and they go boom, Chevy Bolt. Our manufacturing vehicles commence. Our partner may have to store a significant number of batteries at its facilities, and they could go boom. We can't control customer demand because we're not mind readers. We're not mind influencers. We haven't hired Darren Brown. If you get that joke, good on you. We haven't hired Darren Brown to get our cars loving in people's hands. Vehicle sales are influenced by interest rate levels. That's important as well. So if interest rates go up, people are less likely to finance a vehicle. If people can't finance a vehicle or can finance it with bad terms, they're not going to buy it. They're not going to lease it either because interest rates are related to leasing and the money factor as well. Difficulty in staffing foreign operations. Unable to attract and retain key employees. Again, these are very standard. They're just written by a legal firm here that's based out of New York. You'll notice a lot of these. And let's mention COVID. Because always, we got to mention COVID. Our operations could be adversely affected. Natural disasters, unpredicted events. They used to just have pandemic as a little BS line item. Now there's 4 pages on COVID. So, we'll raise additional funds, start of production. We may not be able to obtain acceptable terms. Taxes, regulatory challenges. Okay. So they might face the dealership problem as well as Tesla is. In some states, Tesla's not allowed to sell directly to consumers. They have to sell through a dealership, and people just go to the neighboring state to buy the vehicles because it's easier. We may not be able to sell to the relevant jurisdictions because dealerships want to be protected. And look, let's be honest, this is a German car company. They're going to manufacture in Sweden, but this is a German car company. Cars, other than the Ford, the big car companies are German, the big fancy car companies, So, as a German car company, it's an interesting place to be. Okay, trade secrets. They're pretty much covering everything that every other electric vehicle has done. They're saying they might not hit the mileage terms. We may become subject to additional Dutch and German taxes. If we do pay dividends, we may need to hold tax on dividends payable both Germany and the Netherlands. So if you are a shareholder of this stock, you will be paying foreign dividends. They're not going to do dividends until they're profitable, but you will be paying foreign dividend taxes, which are higher than non-foreign dividend taxes there. So common shares related to third parties and jurisdictions. Okay. I don't see anything crazy here. We understand they don't make money. I kind of like where they're coming from here. I don't see any huge red flags other than Evergrande. Look, we saw the Evergrande flag. That's going to probably stop me from going cuckoo bananas on this. I do really like it. But let's just see. Securities industries. Again, nothing crazy here. But we did something earlier that I kind of want to redo. Tesla. We have strategically positioned ourselves to fill a niche in the market for electric vehicles. However, we expect the niche for solar electric vehicles may become more competitive in the future. Numerous competitors strive to offer e-mobility at affordable masses. Several other market players are currently experimenting with solar charging technology, including manufacturers with established brands, significantly greater financial resources, such as Tesla, Toyota, and Lightyear. I guess. In order to succeed, we will seek to be the price value leader. So they're trying to go for price and value. While other car manufacturers such as Tesla have successfully commercialized pure battery electric vehicles with self-recharging components based on solar modules have not yet been introduced into the car market. And remain commercially unproven. So they are trying to prove, and they have the greatest ticker for that. I keep going back, SEV. They're trying to prove that solar electric vehicles are the future. However, we have numerous competitors who strive to offer e-mobility electric vehicles of some sort, affordability to the masses, and several other market players are currently experimenting with solar technologies. We've already seen this. Some of our competitors benefit from greater financial resources, more extensive development, manufacturing, marketing, and service capabilities on manufacturing assets, greater brand recognition. Never even heard of this company before. So if competitors' vehicles are brought to the market at an affordable or lower price, we are dead. Yeah. So that's what they're saying there. But here's the question. Is it worth a gamble? The electric car space is hot right now. I think it's worth a gamble. So I want to go in. Let's make that gamble. I do think it's worth a gamble. Let me get up on the screen again. I do think it is definitely worth the gamble here. So I will be making the gamble. So we've got our Sono group. I am interested. I understand I'm not a restricted person. I'm aware of the flipping class rules. You can't flip, you can't sell it for 30 days, and I understand the risk, so I'll say I agree. I'll say continue. How allocation works, you make a request, and then it will allocate a certain number of shares to you, so I'll start the request. We'll go 100 shares. Ooh, I have just enough money to buy 100 shares, because it does take a lot of your buying power. It takes like 125% of your buying power to do that, but it's because I'm tied up in all these other IPOs as well, so I'm going to buy 100 shares, put in that request, and it is queued and ready to go. And you'll see it's going to say, okay, what's the next thing? The random allocation, which I don't believe is random. And we've got the expected date is on the 16th. So that is next week. That's 8 days from now. So middle of the next week. I say got it. And we are good to go. So that is a quick overview on the S1 and kind of where Sono's headed. Their unique selling proposition is that they are a solar electric vehicle, which also has all the benefits of a battery electric vehicle as well, and can back up power to your house if you need to. So you've got solar panels on wheels. I like it. I put in for 100 shares. I don't think I'm going to get the 100 shares. I do expect the price to move up to at least $20 a share. So if you are going to put in for 100 shares now, you've got that $1,900. You're probably going to need more money a bit down the line. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, taking a look at Sono Group, which is a German-based auto manufacturer of solar electric vehicles. Sitting here again, with no pants, because remember, when you're wearing no pants, all you've got left to lose is your very nice Hawaiian shirt. I'll see you around for the next IPO. Bye.